They came from the icy fjords, where the cold winds howled and the seas were treacherous, and windswept islands of Scandinavia. They were called Vikings, a name that would soon be feared across Europe, and they were raiders, explorers, and warriors without equal. Their reputation for ferocity and bravery was unmatched. These fierce Northmen sailed the seas in their longships, expertly crafted vessels that could navigate both open oceans and shallow rivers, their eyes set on plunder and conquest. They sought treasures, lands, and glory, driven by a relentless spirit of adventure. With their axes gleaming and their war cries echoing across the waves, they were a force to be reckoned with. They struck terror into the hearts of the Anglo-Saxons. Villages and towns would tremble at the sight of their sails on the horizon. Their hunger for riches and glory knew no bounds. They would stop at nothing to achieve their goals. England, with its wealthy monasteries and undefended coastlines, was an irresistible target for these marauding warriors. Seemed ripe for the taking. The riches of the monasteries, filled with gold and silver, were too tempting to resist. Little did the unsuspecting English know their peaceful lives were about to be shattered. A storm was brewing in the north. The Vikings were coming, their longships cutting through the waves like knives, and they would leave an unforgettable mark on the history of England. Their raids would change the course of history, leaving a legacy that would be remembered for centuries. The year was 793 AD. A shadow fell upon the holy island of Lindisfarne, a peaceful monastery off the coast of Northumbria. The monks were going about their daily prayers when terror struck. Viking longships, sleek and deadly, appeared on the horizon. The raiders stormed ashore, their eyes burning with greed and bloodlust. The monks were slaughtered, their treasures looted. Lindisfarne, a beacon of learning and faith, was left in ruins. This brutal raid sent shockwaves throughout England. The Vikings had announced their arrival in the most terrifying way imaginable. The North Sea would never be safe again. The Viking raids continued with relentless fury. Year after year, they plundered coastal settlements, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. The Anglo-Saxon kingdoms, divided and unprepared, proved easy prey for the Viking warlords. One such warlord, Ragnar Lothbrok, became a legend in his own time. Ragnar's exploits, some say exaggerated, spread fear throughout the land. He was said to have carved the blood eagle on the backs of his enemies, a gruesome ritual sacrifice. Treaties were made and broken. The Vikings, driven by their insatiable appetite for wealth and power, could not be contained. In 865 AD, a new and dramatic chapter in the Viking saga began to unfold. A vast and formidable Viking force, known as the Great Heathen Army, landed on the shores of East Anglia with a clear and determined purpose. This was no mere raiding party seeking plunder. This was a well-organized invasion force intent on conquest and domination, led by the legendary sons of Ragnar Lothbrok, including the fearsome and cunning Ivar the Boneless. They sought revenge for their father's brutal death. The Great Heathen Army cut a swathe through the heart of England, leaving destruction and fear in their wake. Northumbria fell swiftly, its king slain in battle. East Anglia was crushed under the relentless Viking onslaught. The once proud kingdoms of Mercia and Wessex trembled before the might and ferocity of the Viking invaders. The Anglo-Saxons, now facing their greatest threat yet, had to make a crucial decision: unite against the common enemy or face total destruction and subjugation. Section 5. A King's Ransom. In the face of this overwhelming invasion, one king rose to challenge the Vikings. Alfred the Great, King of Wessex, became a symbol of Anglo-Saxon resistance. Outnumbered and outmaneuvered, Alfred fought a guerrilla war against the Vikings, harassing their forces and denying them easy victory. In a legendary stand at the Battle of Edington in 878 AD, Alfred's forces routed the Vikings. The victory was a turning point. Alfred forced the Viking leader to convert to Christianity and agree to a treaty. He had bought Wessex precious time to rebuild and prepare for the inevitable Viking resurgence. Section 6. The Danelaw, a Viking Kingdom. The treaty with Alfred did not mark the end of the Viking presence in England. While Wessex remained free, the Vikings established their own kingdom in the east and north of England. This region, known as the Danelaw, bore the indelible mark of Viking culture and law. The Vikings settled in these lands, intermarrying with the local population. They brought with them their language, their customs, and their love of adventure. The Danelaw became a melting pot of cultures, a testament to the enduring impact of the Vikings on English society. Section 7. Fury against the Picts. While England bore the brunt of the Viking raids, Scotland did not escape their attention. The Vikings, sailing their longships through the treacherous waters of the North Sea, launched raids on the Pictish kingdoms of northern Scotland. The Picts, fierce warriors themselves, fought back with courage and ferocity. The Vikings established settlements in the Orkney Islands, Shetland Islands, and the Hebrides. They clashed with the Picts and the Gaels, forging new alliances and rivalries. From their island strongholds, the Vikings exerted their influence over trade and seafaring in the region, leaving their mark on the history of Scotland. Section 8. Legacy of the Northmen. The Viking Age in Britain eventually came to an end, but their impact on the islands would resonate for centuries to come. Their presence was not just a fleeting moment in history, but a profound influence that shaped the very essence of British culture and society. The Vikings, once feared raiders, became an integral part of the fabric of British society. They transitioned from invaders to settlers, farmers and traders, blending seamlessly into the communities they once terrorized. Their bloodlines mingled with the Anglo-Saxons, Celts and Picts, creating a rich tapestry of cultures. This intermingling led to a fusion of traditions, beliefs and customs, enriching the cultural landscape of medieval Britain. The Vikings left behind a legacy of seafaring, exploration and trade. Their longships became symbols of their adventurous spirit, navigating treacherous waters to establish trade routes that connected distant lands. Their language influenced English, adding words like berserk, skull and knife. These linguistic contributions are a testament to their lasting impact on the English language, enriching its vocabulary with terms that are still in use today. They left behind intricate jewelry, powerful weapons and settlements that whispered tales of their past glory. These artifacts provide a glimpse into their craftsmanship, artistry and way of life, preserving their legacy for future generations. The Vikings, once harbingers of chaos, became agents of change, forever altering the course of British history. Their influence extended beyond warfare as they introduced new technologies, agricultural practices and governance structures that shaped the development of the British Isles. The legacy of the Northmen is a testament to their enduring impact, a story of transformation from feared invaders to respected contributors to the rich tapestry of British history.